Dear Void, this is such a terrific example that I had to share it with you. As those of you familiar with this channel know, I believe that Westerners are anti-Semitic even when they are trying not to be, because it is embedded into Western culture. And so you come across a lot of casual, everyday anti-Semitism, and when you call them out for it, they become outraged. Like you are the one who's doing something wrong here. And this guy, Dojo, really demonstrates it nicely. On my previous video about the anti-Semitism of the Wandering Jew story, he commented by saying, 109 countries are not the West. By the way, I don't know that that is his voice, but I'm sure that it is his voice. Anyway, I don't immediately remember every idiotic, inbred, anti-Semitic story and conspiracy theory these numbskulls tell each other as they pick bugs off of each other's fur, so I was a bit confused, and I said, oh good, a live one to demonstrate for us. Tell me, what 109 countries are you talking about? What's the context exactly? And he replied, it was a simple footnote about your title. The West didn't invent anti-Semitism, for reasons I cannot even dive into in the YouTube comment section due to incredible amounts of censorship. But I can point you to a simple search with which 109 countries expelled the insert protected group name. Now already the keen eye amongst you would notice the problem here. The guy pushes an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory that claims Jews have been expelled from 109 countries in the past, and the idea is to demonstrate that there's something inherently wrong with us. Jews are so evil and disgusting that so many countries have expelled us. And look how casually he presents it. It was a simple footnote about your title. Like, I'm just pointing out casually that you people are all evil and horrible and should suffer, but nothing's wrong with that, is there? Of course, my perspective was a tiny bit different, so I replied with this. LOL, sorry, I forgot about that fortune conspiracy theory. No, dear imbecile, the Jews were not expelled from 109 countries. That is an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory that only fools inbreds. In fact, I asked ChatGPT, were the Jews expelled from 109 countries? This was the answer. No. The claim that Jews were expelled from 109 countries is false and originates from anti-Semitic propaganda. It is not supported by credible historical scholarship. The number 109 is fabricated. There is no academic or historical basis for this figure. The number varies in anti-Semitic circles, but is often cited to imply some inherent fault in Jews, which is a classic rhetorical technique in hate speech. Many expulsions listed in such claims are repetitive or misleading. They often count the same country multiple times. For example, Jews were expelled multiple times from France or various parts of Germany. They include non-countries, like city-states, province, or even small towns. They ignore context. Many expulsions were part of a broader political, economic, or religious conflict not specific to Jews. Expulsions were often driven by rulers seeking to confiscate property, like in England, to cancel debts or appease religious authorities, like in Spain. Jews were frequently scapegoated during times of plague, war, and social unrest. Modern historians focus on patterns of persecution, not misleading tallies. Conclusion: the 109 countries claim is not just inaccurate, it's a weaponized distortion used to justify anti-Semitism. And I added, and in case you do have two brain cells that work, and let's be honest, you fell for that one, you probably frequent sites like 4chan, chances are you don't. I've made another video explaining the roots of anti-Semitism in the West all the way to Rome. And I gave him a link to the video about the origins of anti-Semitism. And this is where it gets really, really good, because in his reply, he was absolutely outraged that I insulted him. Are you clinically insane, my friend? You insult a viewer time after time and you still have the audacity to expect said viewer to interact with your channel? It is funny to see how if they can use the excuse of persecution as victim points, they accept and even increase that number, but when you ask why they were expelled, doesn't matter the number of times. That's what he got from mine and ChatGPT's answer, that it doesn't matter the number of times. That's the brainiac we are dealing with here, yeah? But why from so many places suddenly this number is a fallacy, historically not accurate, yata yata yata? I think he was going for yada yada, which ironically is from Yiddish. But he continues. There's a page on Wikipedia called Expulsions and Exodus of Jews. I could be convinced by your arguments or not. Learn to treat other people with respect. That's what it tells me. Remember the conspiracy theory that he is pushing, yeah? You just prove you're okay with dehumanizing. With dehumanizing. Again, remember the conspiracy theory that this guy is pushing at me. As long as it's not done on you. Unsub, have a good life. Now take a moment to think about this. This guy saw a video against anti-Semitism, subscribed to that channel, and commented pushing a horrific, disgusting anti-Semitic conspiracy theory which dehumanizes all Jews, and thought not just that there is nothing wrong with it, he thought I would appreciate him participating. This is insanity. This is the way anti-Semites have been treated by Jews, especially in America, with this apologetic submission. Yes, sir, of course you can hate us. We appreciate your business. He was absolutely outraged that I called the imbecile an imbecile. Now, think about it from another perspective. Anti-Semites think their evil hatred is acceptable. But racists against other minorities do not think that. You all know those trolls who come into live streams or via chat rooms just to shout out the N-word because they are so edgy and interesting. We all know these people and we all think the same thing about them. When they die, nobody goes, shit, there goes that cure for cancer, right? Nobody's like, oh, the space station really needed that one, right? We all think the same thing, which is, I guess from now on someone else will be flipping my burgers. But anyway, when these geniuses do those things, they expect to be banned, to be thrown out. That's why they're being disruptive. They think it's a rebellion. Think, as much thought as you need to flip a burger. But anyway, they know it's unacceptable and they expect a reaction. But anti-Semites are so used to it being completely fine. In public, online, in schools, on the streets, on TV, in congressional hearings, everywhere, that they are shocked and outraged if you put them in their place. And that tells you all you need to know about Western culture and the state of anti-Semitism. Also, I couldn't get over what an American thing it is to think that if I make money of this channel, which I don't, by the way, I made like 40 pounds in the last 8 months. So, not exactly my retirement fund over here. But anyway, because in his eyes, this is a business, the customer is God. And I'm sorry, American friends, I know many of my viewers are Americans, but that is ridiculously and hilariously American. That's why you guys invented the Karen culture. And he ends his comment with this unsub. Like, that was a huge diss to me. He unsubbed. There, I lost a customer. He wins. So I replied with this final reply. Oh, you Americans with your stupid I'm a customer, then I am God nonsense. No, Karen, I couldn't give two shits if you subscribe or not. In fact, judging from this thread, I'd probably have banned you not long from now. How dare I insult a viewer? Oh, you little delicate snowflake. Someone insulted you while you were trying to spew anti-Semitic nonsense? Poor you. Really, you anti-Semites are so fucking dumb that honestly, if you add up all of your IQ points, even though there are millions of you, you'd still end up with a negative number. Oops, I insulted a viewer again. Better call the Office of Commerce or whatever it is you Karens do when you want to talk to the manager. And by the way, you mental midget, Even the Wikipedia page which you are referring to corroborates exactly what ChatGPT said. In fact, at the end of the page, they give the full list of countries Jews have been expelled from. It's 13 countries. All but one are Western countries. In fact, the only thing missing in this page is the ethnic cleansing done to Jews by the Arabs after 1948, when 800,000 of them were expelled from the Arab world, but that's another story. See you. Have the life you deserve.